Have you ever been petting your cat? Everything feels calm, peaceful, even affectionate, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, they bite you. Not a playful nibble, a real bite. The kind that makes you pull your hand back in confusion, maybe even a little hurt. Most people brush it off as random aggression, a mood swing. That's just how cats are. But what if that moment wasn't random at all? What if your cat was actually trying to tell you something long before the bite ever happened, and you just didn't see it? Most people believe a cat biting during petting means one thing. They've had enough. Simple. But that's not what's really happening, because by the time your cat bites you, you've already crossed a line you didn't even know existed. And the truth is, your cat warned you multiple times. You just didn't understand the language. 1. You crossed their neurological threshold. Here's something most cat owners never realize. Your cat's skin isn't just fur and softness. Underneath, it's packed with highly sensitive nerve endings. Every stroke, every touch, sends signals through their nervous system. At first, it feels good. That's why they lean into your hand. That's why they purr. But unlike humans, cats have a very specific limit, a neurological threshold. And once that threshold is crossed, something flips. What felt pleasant a second ago suddenly becomes overwhelming, irritating, even painful. It's not gradual, it's instant. And when that switch flips, your cat doesn't have words. So they use the only thing they have left, their teeth. But here's the part most people miss. Your cat doesn't go from happy to biting instantly. There are signals, subtle ones, easy to miss unless you know where to look. 2. The warning signs were always there. Right before a bite, your cat's body starts speaking, quietly. Their tail begins to flick, not playfully, but sharply. Their ears rotate slightly back. The skin along their back ripples, almost like a wave passing through their body, and sometimes they turn their head toward your hand. That moment right there, that's the warning. It's your cat saying stop. Not aggressively, not angrily, just clearly. But most owners keep petting. They think the cat is still enjoying it. And that's where things change. Because from your cat's perspective, you didn't listen. And now they have to escalate. If this is starting to make sense, take a second to like and subscribe, because understanding this one thing alone can completely change your relationship with your cat. 3. The belly isn't what you think it is. Here's where it gets interesting. Your cat rolls over, exposes their belly, looks relaxed, almost inviting. Most people see this and think they want a belly rub, but in the cat world, that couldn't be further from the truth. The belly is the most vulnerable part of their body. It protects vital organs. In the wild, exposing it is a huge risk. So when your cat shows you their belly, they're not asking for touch. They're showing trust, deep trust. It's their way of saying, I feel safe enough around you to let my guard down. But the moment you reach for it, everything changes. From their perspective, you just violated that trust. Your hand moves toward the most defenseless part of their body. Instinct takes over. Not emotion, not anger, survival. And that's when the bite happens. Not because they're mean, but because, in that moment, they feel exposed. 4. You woke up their survival instinct. Imagine this. Your cat is asleep, completely still, breathing slow. This is the only time a predator becomes vulnerable. And then suddenly, they feel a touch. Or worse, they're picked up. Their heart rate spikes instantly. Their brain doesn't have time to process who it is. All it knows is, something touched me while I couldn't defend myself. And in that split second, instinct takes control. Claws. Teeth. Reaction. It's not personal. It's ancient programming. A survival reflex that's been hardwired into them for thousands of years. And by the time they realize it's you, it's already happened. But this is where things start to go deeper, because not all bites come from touch alone. Sometimes, it's something you're doing without even moving your hands. 5. Your eyes might be starting the conflict. This is one of the most overlooked triggers, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. In human language, eye contact means attention, connection, even affection. But in the cat world, it means something very different. Direct, unbroken eye contact is a challenge, a silent confrontation. the kind animals use before a fight. So when you stare at your cat, especially during close interaction, you might think you're bonding, but your cat might feel something else entirely. Pressure, tension, a subtle threat. And here's what makes it more complex. Some cats tolerate it, some don't. But if that stare lingers just a little too long, combined with touch, combined with stimulation, it adds up. Their system gets overloaded, and eventually it spills over into a bite. Now here's the fascinating part. Cats have their own version of safe eye contact. It's called the slow blink. When a cat slowly closes and opens their eyes around you, it's not random. It's a signal. Trust. Safety. No threat. And when you return that slow blink, you're speaking their language. You're telling them, I'm not here to challenge you. Most people never learn this. But once you do, your entire interaction with your cat changes. 6. Your cat might be mentally starving. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Not all biting comes from the moment. Sometimes it builds over time. Cats are natural hunters. Even indoor cats carry the same instinct. Stalk, chase, pounce, catch, kill. That sequence isn't optional for them. It's a psychological need. And when it's not fulfilled, that energy doesn't just disappear. It builds, quietly, day after day. Your cat starts living in a state of low-level frustration, mental tension. And then, during something as simple as petting, that tension finds a release. A sudden bite. A grab. An attack that seems completely out of context. But it's not. It's displaced energy. Unfinished instinct. This is why some of the most affectionate cats are also the ones who bite unexpectedly. They're not confused. They're overloaded. And the only way to balance that is to give them an outlet before the interaction ever begins. Play isn't just entertainment. For your cat, it's emotional regulation. 7. Stress changes everything. Now this is where it becomes even more subtle and more important. Because sometimes your cat isn't reacting to what you're doing right now. They're reacting to everything that's been building around them. Cats are extremely sensitive to their environment. Loud voices, sudden movements, changes in routine, even tension between people in the house. They absorb it. And unlike humans, they don't process stress outwardly. They carry it internally, until something small triggers a release. That release can look like a sudden bite. Not because of the petting itself, but because their system was already overwhelmed. Studies on feline behavior have shown that cats in high-stress environments display higher levels of reactive aggression. In simple terms, the more stressed your cat is, the faster they reach that breaking point, which means the same touch that felt fine yesterday might trigger a bite today. And this leads to something most owners never consider. What happens when the biting suddenly stops? At first it sounds like a good thing. No more scratches, no more surprises. But if your cat used to react, used to set boundaries, and suddenly doesn't anymore, that's not always improvement. Sometimes it's the opposite. Cats communicate through action, through reaction, through signals. If those signals disappear, it can mean their energy has dropped, their engagement has changed, or worse, they're not feeling well. Pain, illness, or emotional withdrawal can all reduce a cat's responsiveness. A cat that no longer reacts might not be more tolerant. They might just be quieter. And in the cat world, quiet doesn't always mean okay. So the real question isn't, why did my cat bite me? It's, what were they trying to tell me before they had no other choice? Because every flick of the tail, every shift of the ears, every tiny signal was part of a language, a conversation that's been happening right in front of you this whole time. And the moment you start understanding it, something changes. The bites don't feel random anymore. The behavior doesn't feel confusing. It starts to feel intentional, like your cat was never unpredictable, just misunderstood.